3D Cute Little Raccoon Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be doing a raccoon for my Cute Woodland Creatures series, and this is day number 3, so we're halfway there. There are 2 before it and there's going to be 2 after it, and as I upload them I will put the links in the description box below, so if you missed any, check down there and you will probably find links unless I haven't uploaded them, in which case be patient, it'll be coming soon. So also I really quickly would like to announce the 5 winners for the Ejiubas gift, the little gift set nails, and so there's 2 that are chrome and 2 that are matte and shiny, and the 5 winners are on this side. If you could please contact me, I will get the gift code to you as soon as I can, and then you can go on their website and you can just type that in and it will come to you for free. And so congratulations to the 5 of you, and that's it. Don't forget to click subscribe to my future videos as well. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by creating my background, which is going to be a light blue overlay, and I'm going to try to keep this extremely thin. And the reason is because I'm going to be adding other layers on top of it, and so if every single layer is a little thicker than it should be, then in the end it's going to create a lot more filing to do. So if you just keep each one a little thinner, then in the end it'll just be easier, less filing, and look a little more sleek. So now I'm going to be adding a layer of sparkles over the nail, and so it's a clear base acrylic, but then it has a whole bunch of these giant hexagon glitters that really remind me they would look so pretty if you're doing like an underwater theme or for fish scales or a mermaid tail. They are a little bit big for that, but they're really pretty and iridescent. And then I'm going to add a layer of clear acrylic over the top of that. This is where you're going to have your nail strength from the clear, and it's also going to be a good time to build up your nail form and your apex if you haven't done that with the other layers. And now I'm going to be filing it with a 180 grit file. And when I file, I really like using a 180 grit file. I find that it's not too coarse where it takes off a whole bunch of acrylic and leaves it really scratched up, but it's not so fine that you file for an eternity before anything happens. And then I'm buffing it with a 240 grit padded buffer and apply some gel sealer and throw that into my lamp to cure. So now I'm going to be working on my 3D raccoon, and so I'm going to be using gray acrylic for the majority of this. So I'm going to start with his head, and I'm going to create sort of a exaggerated football shape, so it's got little points on his cheeks on the sides, and then it curves down at the top and the bottom of his head, just like so. A little more height on his forehead than on his chin. And then I'm going to be creating his body. That area that's out there that's a little bit more curved, that's going to be his bottom, and then I'm going to add his tummy on the other side, so he's kind of sitting to the side, so you get sort of a profile view of him here. And so then I'm going to be adding his little ears with more gray acrylic. And now I'm going to be switching to white, and I'm going to be adding a little white tummy patch, just like so. That white acrylic is on the wet side, so some of the gray does show through. It's not a very bright white in that scenario, so you don't want it to look super intense. And then with more gray acrylic, I'm going to be adding some of his legs. So for his hind legs, I'm going to be adding a nice bead for like the knee area, like so, on each side. So one of them is on top of that white circle just a little bit, and the other one is sort of behind it on the other side of his body. And then I'm going to be adding his arms as well. And so for his arms, you want just a small bead of black or of gray acrylic, because we are going to add some black to his arms later on for about the elbow down. So just a little bit of gray for like the shoulder to the elbow. And then with more gray acrylic, I'm going to be adding his tail. And you want to make sure that his tail looks nice and fluffy, so give it plenty of like a thicker section in the middle that tapers down. So then with black acrylic, I'm going to be adding his eye patches. And this is really small beads of acrylic that are relatively thin, so they can smooth out and they're not super thick. And then add a little bit of white in between them for his snout. Add a little pink in his ears. And just the one ear, because like I said, he is sitting in profile. You can't see the inside of the other ear, so just leave that one as it is. And then add his little feet with black acrylic. So on the leg that's closer to the camera, you just see the foot, but on the leg that's on the other side, that's sort of behind his body a little bit, you see the foot, and then a little bit of ankle that connects it to that knee area that we made with the gray acrylic before. And now I'm going to be adding the rings on his tail. So I'm going to take a bead that's again on the wetter side of things and then put that down and then press it out into the shape of that little ring on the tail. I'm going to do 3 of them, one at the tip, one about in the middle, and then one near the base of his tail. And then add the little gloves on his hands and up his wrist about to his elbow, as I said before, that are sort of resting on his tummy like he's thinking, I'm kind of hungry. At least that's what I see out of this pose. And add a little black nose. So now I'm switching to acrylic paint, and I'm going to start by painting out the eyes with white, just on those black eye patches. And then I'm going to add some black details, like outlining his arms. Doing a little bit of outlining on the legs a little bit, just over that hind area. And then defining the ears a little bit with black. And doing these black outlines are really going to make all of your 3D work stand out and be more visible. I'm going to add the pupils in the eyes just to tone down that white a little bit like that. Add the little pink paw pads on the foot that's closest to the camera. And then apply a layer of matte top coat over the 3D art, and you are all done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this design, and don't forget to check out the other ones in this series, like a fox and a squirrel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!